Hi friends, welcome to Ellen's Crochet Channel. Today is Friday and I'm back again. Although I have a different shirt on because it's a little chilly. Even though it's supposed to be Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial start of summer. It's chilly. So, as I stated in my last video, I was away and cut our vacation short because it got a little chilly, got a little rainy, so I came back a day early. But I will tell you, these Joann stores I had never visited. One of the Joann stores was in the town adjacent to where I was staying. And I got down there a little early. This was last week. And I said, before check-in time, let me go take a quick meandering to that Joann. And it was basically cleared out. I don't even know if they were going to open there next day. That's how cleared out it was. And needless to say, I got one thing there. This is what I got. This is a Singer large sewing and stow basket. And I will use it, I will tell you, to put some of my notions in. I never had a sewing basket, and I don't recall my mother ever having a sewing basket. She did have a tin. I think it was one of those butter cookie tins, and that's what she kept her. She wasn't crafty. She did have something for, needles and thread and some buttons and that kind of stuff. But I said, let me get one, and I thought this was cute. So this was regularly, I think, $49.99. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't even read the receipts because the ink is so light. I want to say this was probably about maybe $15, $20. Just figuring it out. I don't really recall. I think I got that and some this might have been in there, the Post-it notes. I got some Post-it notes, that kind of stuff. Just dropped something, but yeah, so that Joann's was empty, cleared out. But okay, I want to say something. Really, I got Joann in the bag. Okay, so I don't know if any of my friends out there live in a state where plastic bags are banned. You can't use the plastic bag, you have to bring your own shopping bag, or they charge you, to buy one of their bags, whatever. But they were selling these as a fixture. And I think these are going to be a hot commodity. And I'm going to open it because I just want to see what size it is. Oh, you know what it is? For anyone that has a little puppy, I used to use these as poopy bags. But, yeah, so they're Joann plastic bags. I thought they were going to be bigger, but it's still good. Something to keep in your car when you want to throw something away. Or if I know somebody, I did have a puppy. So I may save it because I may get another one. But yeah, so 2,000 bags, 2,000 small plastic bags, Joann. They were selling as a fixture for $10. So I guess if you do the math, and I'm not going to math right now, it's not a bad deal. Plus, I thought it was kind of funny to say I have Joann in the bag. So funny. I will tell you, I saw Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches, and she, where she knows somebody that works in the Joann near her, and she has an apron. So just as a joke, I said to one of the girls at the register, I said, how much for your apron? Just joking around, because I wouldn't take something that somebody else wore, So she said, oh, if you want to take it off I'd sell it off my back for $100. And I was like, no, just kidding. That's all right. What would I do with the Joann apron? But anyhow, I thought that was kind of funny. So that was one of the funny things. The Joann's that I went to, they were either, depending on the store, 70, 80, or 90% off. And, you know, the ones that had really next to nothing were 90% off. Everything else was generally 80% in the other stores. I'm going to be honest with you, friends. I really can't even read the receipts. Other than the one which has the funny item. The others, I really can't read them. I just know what I paid for most of, you know, the yarn. Yeah, I got some big twists. I'm not going to go over the specs. I will just say, I think I paid $1. I think this was $1.25, $1.35 for a bowl of big twist value. And I will tell you, I was lucky to get colors that, and I have many colors, but I don't have this one. This was deep red. Never had the deep red. And I got lilac. And I have a purple, but I don't have lilac. So how odd was that I found colors that I didn't have. Toffee. Never had the toffee. And one other color I didn't have was the, this is the medium gray. Yeah, so I picked up 3 of each. And mostly everything that they had in that, where they had this yarn was blanket yarn. And as I said, I don't know if this, I think this was 70% off or 80% off. I don't know. I really don't know. Very unusual. This one has JAS, and I guess that's the liquidators. It says $4.49. And we all know, anyone that's shopped in Joann, there was never a price on the yarn. So, yeah, the liquidators put prices on them. Very, very unusual. Very strange. I did pick up 2 pillows. And I think these were like regularly $26.99, and I think I got them for $8. And these are Weather Soft indoor-outdoor pillow inserts. And so, you know, I could use them on my deck for indoor-outdoor pillow. So not that I wasn't looking for them, but it was a good deal. Couldn't pass it up. Other than that, I did get some notions, and as I said, it's cold, so my favorite place is the beach or in front of my yarn, so I made a cup of tea. So some of the silly notions I got these. I think they were 30 cents each, and this is embroidery wool. I don't do much amigurumi. I think I've done 2-3 things. But if you're going to do something with an eye, you don't want to use that little floss. You know, if you're going to make an eye or a nose. So, you know, they had other colors. I just picked up the colors I may use. Point protectors. And I said, all of this was 90% off. I got some silly patches. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Perhaps put it in a giveaway. Some stickers. Granny hip to be square. These are covered hook and eyes. If I make a shawl or something, that'd be good to have. I think these were came out to like 20 cents for that. You know, it was silly stuff you couldn't pass up. Buttons. Just silly things. I picked up a pair of knitting needles, although I don't know how to knit yet. And 2 prim hooks. I think these came out to about $1 each. One is 7 and one is 8. Although both boxes say 7mm, but they're 2 different sizes. So yeah, I picked that up. Tulip fabric dye. I may use it, I may not. And pair of scissors. It says $6.99. I think I got it for it was 80% off. So can always use another pair of scissors. So now to the silly things. This was a freebie. There's one simple answer to your question. We got this. It should say, you got this. Because if you're doing a pattern or something, you're not sure if you could do it, always remember, you got this. Okay, some funny things, friends. Not funny, kind of heartwarming. They were giving these away. I'm trying to open it up. Let's see, I have a pair of scissors here. Okay, this is a pin. And it says, oh, what does it say? A cut above. A cut above. Let me see. Can you see that? It says cut above. Joann. Let's see. I'm trying to get it into focus. Probably can't read it, but anyhow, it's a little pair of scissors. A cut above, and it says Joann. So they were giving them away. I only took 2 because I figured leave some for the others. And another one I got, I'm gonna cut this because I can't open it. It's a pin cushion. So it's a Joann pin cushion pin. Yeah. I imagine, you know, the workers were given these, you know, to put on their badges. But I thought those were cute little mementos, although I've never worked with Joann. So, okay, so I told a little funny. As I said, I went to 2 Joanns on the way home. This other stuff, the yarns, were on the way home. So that one store that I went into that actually gave me the pins, which was pretty much empty. The store was pretty much empty. As I was checking out, I don't remember what I got at that store. It may have been the pillows. Like I said, they really had not much. I was online at the register. There were like 2 people ahead of me. And I saw this. Okay, as I said, I saw no yarn in the store. I saw very little fabric, you know, next to nothing. I see this one lonely ball of yarn thrown on the side by the register. You know, not behind. You know, they have things, the last minute stuff that, you know, they try and get you while you're waiting online. Was this ball of yarn. Now, if you look at the color, it's green. Joann is green. Their logo, everything was green. So I saw this lonely ball of yarn and I said, it's calling me. I have to take that ball of yarn. I couldn't leave it there. It was the only ball of yarn in the store. So I said, and I maybe have 3 skeins of blanket yarn that I got in giveaways or something, and I said I have to get it. I have to take it. And it came, I think this ball of yarn, it's on the one receipt that I can pretty much read. I think it was 80 cents. It was the one store that, okay, I don't know where the receipt is. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay, it's Burnett Baby Blanket Dino Dot. It was regularly $11.99. It was $1.20. So for $1.20, I said I'm gonna save that little ball of yarn as a memento of Joann, because not only is it green, it was the only one in that store. So after I paid for it, I was leaving, and you know, it was sticking out of the bag because they only had these little bags. So it was sticking out of the bag. And the girl goes, "Oh, you took that last ball of yarn." So I said, "Yeah." I said, "It was just sitting there." She goes, Well, she said it was all the way on the top and the back of the store, all alone. And they had to knock it down. So it was the lonely ball in that Joann store. Anyhow, I thought that was kind of funny. It was funny that she even commented that I took the last ball. But for that Joann. The other Joann, you know, they had a lot of blanket yarn and I really don't use it, but I had to take that one. Well, friends, this is it. Joann in a bag. I even have the bags. I think this is probably that size of the box of bags I bought. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for making it this far into my video of goodbye to Joann. If you watched my last video, and if you have not, let me just show you really quick what I'm working on. The Riptide wrap. And if you'd like to see more about it, keeping it in my Bridget's Queen Crafts by Bridget's bag. Go visit her channel. She's got a website. She makes beautiful bags. Perfect, beautiful, high quality. And you could pick your material and everything. And speaking of material, Bridget, I hope you made it to Joann and scored some nice fabric. Although I think this fabric is a better quality than Joann has. But so this is my Riptide wrap shawl to be. Okay, it's a challenge with Nina's Linan from Nina's Knots and Crochet, and Judy at Judy's Creations and Crochet. Yes, I think that's it. I may have messed that name up. I messed them all up. It is what it is. Anyhow, that's one of the things I'm working on, friends. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of videos about our last minute Joann finds. I'm loving my little pins. I think they're so cute. Although I don't really wear pins, but I'll stick them somewhere. Maybe I'll put it on my little Damn It doll. I'll put them on her. And that's it. Okay, friends. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.